Hello, good evening, and welcome to WriterGreg on Twitch.tv. I'm glad that you could all make it, and thanks for everyone who is catching me live and also watching on video on demand, either here on Twitch.tv or later on YouTube.com on the links down below in the descriptions. Glad that you could all make it, and we have probably a lot of things that are going to be going on tonight, and I'm really excited about what we have in store. We are going to be focusing on the critiques and showcases for Anvilites and those who are competing in the WorldAnvil Summer Camp 2020 World Building Challenge. Today is nearly the last day before the diamond prompts are released on the 30th. And then it's just going to be a crazy sprint to see if we can get all three of those prompts done before the last day of the month. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. But first, and as always, I would like to do a huge shout out to the Anvilite Streamer Corps, the conglomeration of all of the Anvilite streamers who were here supporting the members of the WorldAnvil community as we go through this challenge and world building, and I say beyond, because world building doesn't stop at the stroke of midnight on the 31st. We are going to just keep going, and well, at least I am, and I do hope that there are many others who will join me. And if you're curious to know, you can visit the Anvilite Streamer Corps at the link, and I believe I have a link in the description below, and you can see the calendar of all of the things that are going to be happening. And I'm really excited for the official summer camp diamond release that's going to happen at 6 p.m. British Standard Time, or GMT, which is 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern, if I'm doing my math correct. So all of those who are going to be doing that, that's going to be a great opportunity to just have some fun with writing. So before we, I'll save more of the introductions for later. I believe we may be having a raid. You are for the EST. Oh, good. I'm neither Pacific nor EST, but it's I like to pretend that I can math live. All right, before we begin, I'll save a lot of other discussions for later. We may be experiencing a raid or two in short order from another Anvilite member, but before that, we've already had a redemption of some lemon channel points by Moonflower Writer, and they redeemed the writing topic of viewer's choice. And this is an opportunity for us to brainstorm anything writing related, and especially with, of course, summer camp going on, that topic. So we have Gift of Gabby already redeeming a summer camp showcase. We'll get to that later. And anyone who wants to also get a summer camp prompt or showcase in there, definitely go ahead and do that. No, first come, first serve, Moonwriter. Let's talk about, you've given me two different prompts in the chat that you would like to talk about. Either describe a location in your world that is brimming with diverse or bizarre flora and fauna, or write about a species in your world that is bred or farmed from a high valued resource. The species I have few ideas for. The location is roughly half done. And all right, so let's talk about one of those different topics. Where you're saying you're halfway done, do you have a draft or a link that you'd be willing to share, or could you give me a little idea of what you've talked about so far, and then we can just go from there? And while waiting for that response, I'll just get I'll get Gift of Gabby's article up there. Okay. Oh, sorry, microphone. Internet's being slow. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit of my approach about those two articles. The challenge that I had with the two of those is that I had not thought a lot about that in my world. And the biggest commodity or magical item that I had created thus far was intentionally only wild animals. So the most important thing in my world I couldn't describe because, well, it can't be harvested, it can't be bred, and because of the way that I have my magical system is if you tried to breed an animal, then that's the guaranteed way you wouldn't get the magical crystal cores. All right, we have a link here. Let's take a look at this. Isolia. Okay. Isolia is known as the lonely island paradise among the circle of travelers, and it certainly lives up to its name. Isolia is a medium-sized island located roughly 1,000 kilometers off the coast of Rathos. Isolia is directly south-southeast from the city of Helemia, making Helemia a common takeoff point for those traveling to Isolia. Geography. Isolia, the island of Isolia, is known far and wide for the pinkish-hued sandy beaches that make up over 20% of the island. The roughly 80% of the island that's left is made up of jungles, a rare sight in the area. The reason for Isolia's geographically strange warmth is a combination of the warm water currents that converge near the island and the magical ore that is found in plentiful quantities on the island. Okay, we got 621 miles. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I'm still empirical. Isolia is home to flora and fauna that would be alien in comparison to that of the mainland of Rothos. The flowers that bloom on the island are vibrant enough to put a rose to shame, and the long-beaked hummingbirds that flit around them are equally as vibrant, but with added iridescence. Okay, cool. So, why don't we just let's take this article and run with it and see what things that we can add to it and go from there. Okay, Isolia, I am getting kind of the Hawaii vibe, or Bermuda, or other tropical things. And so that is, I am getting a kind of little bit of a vibe. Galadan, welcome. So talking about Isolia, with the prompt of talking about something that is bred or farmed for a high value resource, I think the first thing that we need to decide is metric isn't normal for me, or is unnamed if you have name suggestions. Whatever it is, don't be unattainium or vibranium or any whatever that is. Let's talk about economy. Let's talk about the economy of Isolia, because I think that would help give us a clue about what could be either the valuable resource or the interesting flora and fauna. And the fun thing about that is that it can be both. You can have this an article. You can talk about the minerals of Isolia for the rare device. Oh, I'm sorry. I should change my camera so we can all see the same article. We could have an article talking about the minerals, and then we could have another article talking about the flora and fauna, and get both of these prompts done using brainstorming off of the same island of Isolia. Okay, so if we're talking about something that is precious or high valued, you definitely have the you have some things. So let's talk about the economy. Coffee Quills, welcome and thank you so much for the follow. The valuable resource has to be a species. Well, my valuable resource was cotton. No, was it cotton? Thank you, Coffee Quills. Yeah, a species, but that doesn't mean it's either a species of plant or a species of animal. Let's take a look at the prompt. I'm going to go back to the Anvilite Streamer Core web spreadsheet, unpacking spreadsheet that's from the welcome to Zog Mad Dog, and everybody, thank you so much for coming. We're in the middle of a critique, so glad to have you all here. Wow, all of these hosts and these wonderful, thank you so much for the raid. I'm here with Mad Dog. Aloha. Welcome, everybody. Let's close those things. Welcome. We are in the middle of a critique, a showcase, and a brainstorm on a previous article by Moonflower Writer. And there's a raid in process. That's what I get for opening 2 windows at once. Yeah, that sometimes happens. Okay, gotta adjust. Okay, squeaky chair. All right, so let's go back here to the not common condition. Where are we? No. That was a weird mirror. Okay, what prompt number is that? Material. No. Species. Write about a species in your world that is bred or farmed for some kind of high valuable resource. I was only trying to say that your mineral suggestion would probably not work according to the prompt. Yes. Okay. That is true. Because it's not bred or farmed, it's mined. That is a fair point. And the species. Okay. Yeah. That is a fair point, that minerals can't be done that way. Nice. I finally got the idea after yesterday's time zone talk to work my way through the summer camp stream schedule and find people I usually miss. Well, thank you so much for coming along, but you may need to be getting some sleep soon, Coffee Quills. All right. So, going back to Isolia. Oh, you just woke up. Welcome. Ready to go. So talking about the flora and fauna, maybe. Let's take that approach for a little bit. The Japanese time zone. Okay. Happy Thursday? You could have the species that produces a mineral if setting allows for it. Dragon Love Water. Your name looks new. Welcome. I don't recognize your name, so thank you for coming. You're right. There could be a special animal that once I heard that there was this really good coffee that was only produced because a certain animal pooped it out. They ate the coffee beans and pooped it out. That could be, you can do anything with that. I've had gallbladders my gallbladder removed because of gallstones, and I can tell you there was a whole bunch of mineral inside that little vial. So, Sevitz? I don't know what a... Oh, so expensive too. I don't know the name of the coffee. I don't drink. I just heard about it. That's the animal, I think. Oh, okay, sure. Okay, that is Kahuna confirmed Moonrider. A lot of people who are confirming that. I just think it's disgusting. I'm sorry. So we could have an animal like that if you want to talk about a mineral, but I think the most important thing for either of these is $500 a pound. No. Nope. I have a lot of things I'd rather do than spend $500 for any beverage. Okay. I guess the best suggestion that I have for you, Moonflower Rider, is think of the economy. What is the best way that would attract people to the country of Isolia? Meaning, what would bring people here? You talk about the beaches and the beautiful pinkish hued sandy beaches. Why are they pink? Yeah, so many guild memberships you could buy with $500. Ain't that the truth? Think about, why is it pink sandy beaches? Why is it... is there something in the jungle that it makes something precious? You do mention here that the jungle is only found within this geographically strange warm combination. Is this kind of like Iceland because the crust is extra thin and they have a lot of geothermic energy? Is, what makes it so rare? What makes it unique? What makes it something that they could commoditize and thus draw people to it? Because it's, 1,000 kilometers off the shore. Something's got to draw people there. And if travel is difficult, tourism could definitely be something. I mean, people have traveled. I mean, what's the difference between Los Angeles and Hawaii? I don't know. I think the entire Caribbean is within 1,000 kilometers of Miami. So, I mean, tourism is a definite thing. So, I may be kind of striking. It's a major tourist spot. Okay, good. Then, what makes so what is culturally significant that the local peoples take pride in that may seem exotic and exciting to someone who isn't from there? I mean, I love pineapple. I love Hawaiian pineapple. Is that a commodity that they are very proud of? Is there a food? Is there a specific drink that they're especially proud of? Does the timber in the jungle have special qualities that make it unique, like the redwoods of California? If you want to build a deck or a patio and you don't want the wood to rot, you build with redwood. It's also largely made of protected land after a large-scale rehabilitation effort followed a large-scale disaster. Really? Pineapples aren't native to Hawaii? Wow. Okay. I did not know that. My apologies. My ignorance is showing. So if you take ideas like that of what do the people value, then I think and then focus on that. So instead of Isolia being the island, you focus on the tourism of Isolia. It's native to South America. Huh. South Brazil and Paraguay is the area where they're from. Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. Dragon Love Water, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And yes, you could buy a lot of Cheez-Its for $500. All right, so hopefully that helps out. These were the two prompts that I really struggled with in my own prompts, so please don't look at mine as an example, but I think you have a good foundation. I don't know how many words that you have here, and now you want pineapple. And hang me from my thumbnails, but I love pineapple and ham pizza. There, I said it. All right. Like most of the fruits and vegetables aren't native to your area, you'd expect them to be. Stuff has migrated over thousands of years. Very true. Very, very true. Okay. Yay! Pineapple and pizza lovers unite. Okay. Hopefully that helps as we've talked about that. You have 241 words at the moment. Oh, you can squeeze out 60 more words easily, and then you would be able to just call it good enough. Yeah, definitely, Moonrider, you got this. You definitely got this. All right. With everybody in the stream, and thank you so much for the raids and the hosting. I really do appreciate it. I just want to let you know that this is what we're going to do tonight. I have removed the limit to how many showcases that we are able to do. So I'm going to do nothing but showcases tonight if you have enough that you want to do. So feel free, get those lemon channel points, redeem it, get your name in the queue. We do have one by Gift of Gabby for Esta that we are going to do. Thank you, Coffee Quills. So we are going to focus on the showcases tonight and help people get to whatever level goal that they want to get to. Tomorrow's stream for me is going to be after the 30. So tomorrow night I am going to focus heavily on getting the final three prompts done, so that I can then help people more in the following stream. So that's just a plan. So if you have something that you would like to have showcased or critiqued or reviewed together, throw those links in the chat and we'll do that. Yes, more pineapple lovers in the Hawaii has guava, passion fruit, mango, and the reason we destroyed their sovereignty, bananas as native plants. Once I get affiliate, that will be mine as well. Okay. There's nothing to save, Coffee Quills. I don't have. I'm just critiquing tonight. And if we run out of critiques, maybe I'll get some of my own articles and start editing them. But hopefully we can be a good enough of a help to work on anyone who wants to talk about their articles. But thank you so much for using those lemon points. And we do have some fun lemon emotes that I'll just throw there in the the chat for those who are subscribers, and if you're enjoying the stream, I would hope that I earn your follow and even possibly earn your subscription as well, because I love this. This is fun. Okay, eating a lemon starburst. You know, people accuse me of cannibalism every time I drink lemonade. What can you do? All right, the Salty Sailor is rating with a party of 6. Welcome, welcome. What a line to come in on. Yes, Squid 13. That is a line to come in on. Yes, this is a second raid, and there's more. And the hosting. Thank you so much. Oh, we got a lot of right, the Salty Sailor. Thank you so much. I hope everyone who comes over will do me the honor of following this channel. And okay, my last name is Lemon. Hence all of the lemon channel points, the lemon things. And yes, it's actually spelled Lemon, like the fruit. And so the joke is that when I drink lemonade, some people accuse me of cannibalism. What can you do? Yes, Hawaiian pizza is lovely. Lemons are awesome. I agree. I have 5 little lemons running around the house. Well, they're not. They're not that little anymore. I have 4 of them are teenagers. Okay, so thank you so much for DazzleCat. Throw that link in the please throw the link into the chat and we'll get to that. Right now we do have the gift of Gabby and their article Esta. So we'll go ahead and start reading that. Okay. Excuse me. Queen Estradon and her council of 25 representatives, lords and lordesses, 5 for farmers, 5 for merchants, 5 for priests, and 5 for craftsfolk. Each position is elected by members of their own group. Each representative serves for 8 years and can't serve again till 16 years later. Okay, let me... Okay. I am worried that I might... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Gabby. Okay, where is my mouse? There. Handling typo. The Gosling. Let me know if that one worked. Each representative can choose laws or change laws. Then all representatives vote on the law. When the vote is closed, the Queen makes the final decision. She also keeps order when the representatives disagree. Yeah, those are some big... Okay, everyone give big hugs to Gabby. That's... I'm sorry. That's tough. Sorry. Maybe someday I'll share a story about that, but not tonight. Not tonight. Because that's a very brave thing to admit. Fears for the future, fears of the unknown. That's really brave. But maybe another night. I don't feel like crying. Okay, back. There you go, Gabby. Hugs. Maybe I need a lemon hug. A lemon squeeze. We should have a lemon squeeze emote. Oh, polycystic ovary syndrome. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know what kind of... Harold's Table, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, Yeah, I don't want to get into a Me Tooism right now because yeah, that is difficult. Starlock, welcome. Okay. All right, so ESTA, we're talking about this structure. Farmers vote for their local representatives out of their own same for merchants, priests, lords, lordesses, and craftfolk. Lords rule over the local domains of the land and, like islands or around lakes or seas. Tensions between the nobility and commoners are high. However, other representatives try to mask any dislike of the nobles for a chance to be one of the 25 representatives. They work with the mayors of the towns in their areas of control to keep the villagers happy and meet the needs of the people who answer to them. Okay. Um yeah. Giggles and holds his buddy's head underwater. Now, Harold, Starlock, you behave. Okay. Okay, the structure. All right, so she has a council of 5 people from each. Good. They can serve for 8, but then they have to wait 16 years. So, depending on the lifespan of your people, it might, be a one-time thing. Um, there are some missing spaces after the commas for like there. Um, Here need some spaces in there for that. Um, Humans, elves, gnomes, etc. are the races. Okay. Farmers vote for the local representative out of their own. Same for merchant. Okay. All right. Um, so that does. You have good information here about the structure that you have and how they're elected and how they represent. Um, and how long they serve. I like you have how they can propose the law. It sounds like the queen is only there as like the a president of the Senate who only breaks ties or just keeps order like the Speaker of the House. So is that the limit of the queen's power? Does the queen have any additional power by her nature of being the queen? Or is this more of a constitutional monarchy like England where really the prime minister and the parliament run everything, but the queen is there as a figurehead? How much power does the queen have? That kind of information could expand this article if you wish. Okay, culture. A. Esta is known best for its fairy-friendly nature, which sometimes gets them hoodwinked. It has relaxed views on elementals, due to its alliance with Corina and Asari. They practice mummification, necromancy. Okay, that did you got modded there for a reason, but she can assign generals. Okay, I'm gonna there's a little typo there. So, yeah, she can assign generals. Okay, thanks for sharing that. They practice mummification. Necromancy is seen as one of the greatest evils and needs to be stopped at all costs. Okay, so what are the costs that they go to stop it? Would be a good thing if you wanted to expand that. Uh, One thing I love that I haven't done in my own articles is these little sections that provide a narrative or an insight into the life of an individual. And you could talk about a famous or infamous necromancer and what happened to them when they got caught performing necromancy. That could be a fun insight. Generations live in an estate in Esta as tradition dictates. Homes that are not in cities have up to 3 stories, one for each generation. Need a space there. The kitchen is the heart of the home. It is also the prayer room. It tends to be painted with elegant murals, even if every other wall in the house is blank due to lack of funds. That's a good thing. Okay, looks like we have some headers there. Esta's most important trade goods are dates, wheat, rice, olives, spices, camels, and tea. Camels as in, okay, expend the necromancy and maybe local nobles. Yeah. If you want the necromancy more than the nobles, because we are talking here about an organization, and Iran inspired the era. Okay. I would, since we're talking more about an organization, I'd probably focus less on the nobles, unless the nobles, the 5 nobles, the lord and lords that represent, if they are of more significance than you add here, then I would talk about them. Okay, it's interesting here, the trade goods, you have food, a food, dates, a food, wheat, a food, rice, olives, spices, and tea, and then you threw camels in the middle there. I would probably move camels to its own sentence, because unless they eat camels, is a camel a delicacy? Is it? But here you just have everything. But are camels eaten? I don't know. Maybe it is in their world. I don't know. But just for consistency purposes, this list of similar things they're all grown items. They're all items that are harvested and planted. Camels themselves aren't. And so I would just kind of move that to its own sentence. Oh, I'm sure that yeah. Yeah, and so I'm not saying that they're not an asset that can't be traded. It's just when you're using in a sentence and you're using a list, usually that list of things contains similar items. And it's just like, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just isn't the same. Name it. Who can tell me where that song came from? Coffee quills, thank you. I want to know. Coffee Quills wins. Sesame Street. Sorry, Siobhan. Yes, Sesame Street. Yep. All right. In the year 495, Esta is known for its strong navy and cannons, as well for its wealth. Okay. This is also, you had to sit up to type. Well, that's why you remember it, Coffee, is because you hated it. I would put this second sentence as its own paragraph, because the navy and cannons and its wealth are extremely different than it. Because a sentence is an idea. A paragraph is a collection of ideas that are closely related. And the strong navy and cannons, since they are slightly, they're not really closely together except for being assets, I would probably separate those as a paragraph. Ducks head at the compliment and watches it sail away. That's why I keep me around. All right. In the year 495, a huge revolt in Restra resulted in a complete collapse of the government. Excuse me. A local noblewoman. Okay, I would not capitalize noble in this situation unless it's a title or in reference to a very specific person, because you're just saying a noblewoman, even though you have the name Yvonne here. If unless someone is addressed by noble Yvonne. I mean, a local lowercase noble woman by the name of, like, Lady Yvonne, that would be the capital L. Lady Yvonne conquered the former Restra territories with her own militia. Cool. It was a bloodbath because Yvonne had the support of her local wizard school and broad support among the common folk. She earned this support with the promise of representation in her new government according to their profession and walks of life. Crass folk. Okay, something happened here. Crass folk include wizards. Okay, but that they're not described up here at the top. Okay, 5 for the craftsfolk. Okay, so wizards is a kind of a craftsfolk. Never mind, you did redress it up there. When she won the war and scoured the towns and cities, she did what she promised and established the structure of the Estian government that remains in effect this day. Okay, one question then. Who is Queen Estradon versus Lady Yvonne? Because you do this great structural setup talking about Queen Estran and all of this, but then in the history, I'm assuming that she named herself Queen, and that, go get your coffee, Quills. Coffee, comma, Quills. All right. Is Queen Estradon like a descendant of? Because you say yeah, Estienne Queen coffee, good. I don't know, never had it. Don't like the smell. Had to make it when I worked at a restaurant. No thanks. Okay, so hopefully that helps with some of these things. I do like the foundation that you have here. It just needs a little bit more of the of polish with the spaces. I do like the Grammarly plugin, which is really good. Also, Microsoft Word or LibreOffice, if you're open source users, for the grammar check. She's the Queen Yvonne's daughter. Elves live for a long time. Okay, good. I don't know how important that fact is, but that might be something that you add another paragraph at the bottom saying, in addition to establishing the government, she named herself Queen, and then her daughter, Queen Estradon, rules today. That would be if you're looking to lengthen something out. Okay? Cool. There we go. All right. Okay. Dazzlecat, let's take a look at yours. And remember, anyone else who has an article that they would like to have showcased, I want to add more flesh to my article. It feels lacking somehow. That's fair. I would talk more about the history, the relation of the conquering queen versus the current queen. I would talk more about the type of people that are selected in the 25. You talked about the 5 craftsmen or craft folk. Is it any crafts folk, or is it a specific, one's a wizard, one is a carpenter, stuff like that? How did you make your overlay? It keeps moving and I love it. Oh, easy. I didn't make it. Here it is. Let me just copy that. and paste that link there. Yeah, I could spend 100 hours and not have something half as good. And for me, the $30 was worth it. And I switched to Streamlabs so that I could use that. But yeah, there's a nice little video here, because there are many things I want to learn for myself so that I can make them self, because I would have fun doing it. But making a Twitch overlay, I tried, and I was spending so much time on it, and I wanted to have a nice, consistent, quasi-professional look, and I said $30, worth it. So I felt bad when WorldAnvil came out with their own, but everyone has that. But to be more specific, the moving frame is an MP4 video animation on a loop, is how that happens. Whereas there are many other little components that I built in, and that all of the transitions that you see, like I can do a test, like a test. There we go. So that noise, the little icon, there's a star for a subscription, there's a heart. Oh yeah, call me Doug. I chase squirrels. I thought I could not make something as awesome as what they had available, so I went for it. I'm glad you caught the reference, Quills. Okay, Dazzlecat, we have an article called The Gosling. I believe this is a vehicle. Okay. The Gosling is a keelboat. Keelboats are 30 feet long and 10 feet wide. They can sail the ocean. They can sail the coasts of seas and oceans, but their favored waters are rivers and lakes. Vehicle, yes, okay. With their single mast and double sets oars, they are highly maneuverable. Double sets of oars, maybe. Their favored waters are rivers and lakes. This is describing a keelboat as a thing that is able to have feelings or preferences. Not sure if that was intentional. I would word that differently, saying that the sailors prefer to do it on rivers and lakes. However, they are capable of ocean and seas. Maybe to spread that out. With their single mast and double sets of oars, they are highly maneuverable. A helmsman and 2 hands are all it takes to sail a keelboat, though a full crew of 5 is preferred. 1 ton of cargo and 2 passengers, if there is a full crew, is the most a keelboat can haul, and it does so speedily. Okay. I would probably break this into smaller paragraphs, because you have the description of what the Gosling keelboat is, then you describe its crew, and then you describe its cargo. Those are 3 separate collections of ideas, so I would recommend those be 3 separate paragraphs. And then once those are in separate paragraphs, it is easier to expand upon that idea when you put the collection of ideas in separate paragraphs. And this sentence here, 1 ton of cargo and 2 passengers, if there's a full crew, is the most a keelboat can haul, and it does so speedily. That is many ideas that you've put into one sentence, and I would recommend that could be a paragraph all unto its own, with broken down into multiple sentences and expanded a little bit. Keelboats are most used by lone peddlers. Arriving in ports, their dock fees are minimal as they have to dock at the fishing piers. Okay, which is just fine as their customers tend to be common folk. Keelboats and their humble trade is a bright spot in the dreary lives of the unwealthy, as their peddlers are willing to barter if coins are short. Colorful tops shading their decks while in port adds to the festive air. Okay, again, a lot of good information in here. I really like how you're bring. Oh, Moonflower, tip top. Yes, that time, place, topic, person. That is probably the most important thing in prose. That sent late, but it's for paragraphs. Yes. Okay, I have a confession. I love fan fiction. I have a Wattpad account. Before discovering WorldAnvil and their wonderful manuscript functionality, I was considering putting a lot of my fiction on Wattpad. And the biggest problem, the most egregious sin of all, is that they don't follow Tip Top. Oh no, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with fan fiction. I just love it. I'm, I think that there's a lot of great stuff out there, and yeah. But I just think it's important. If anything, that a, a writer can do to improve their craft exponentially is understand Moonflower's suggestion of tip top: time, place, topic, person. Oh, my daughter is writing a Danny Phantom fan fiction right now. Yeah, and we've been watching a lot of Danny Phantom on Hulu. uh, Personally, a fanfic. Okay, sorry, Dazzle Cat. Tangent. Uh, I I had outlined a fan fiction on sunshit sunset shimmer. Sunset Shimmer from Equestria Girls of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And uh, I, it was really good. And I never wrote it, but I did plan a lot of. I literally was inspired for some of my stuff from a bunch of Batman mermaid fics. Oh yeah, I love Friendship is Magic. Fanfic with MLP and Fallout. Oh. Oh wow. That is cool. Anyone here watch Miraculous Ladybug? Oh, it is epic and 100% not for kids. Oh yeah. Don't. I mean, fanfic has uh, never been family friendly. But there's going to be a Fallout TV show? Really? It can be, yeah. Fanfic can be for kids, and I personally will always write clean. Um, but yeah, I love Fallout 4 Let's Plays, watching other people play it because I can't shoot straight worth a darn. Not excited, bouncing out the edge of my seat. Nope. Fallout MLP. Wow. There's which Fallout though? Are we Fallout 4, which is um, okay? Another thing, I travel a lot for my business before the whole worldwide shutdown, And because of my fallout for watching Fallout 4 Let's Plays, I actually intentionally booked a hotel in Boston because it was at the start of the Freedom Trail, and my entire goal was to walk the Freedom Trail just like it was in Fallout 4. And I got to tell you, in real life, it is a lot longer than in the game. Fallout 3 based. Is that New Vegas? No. I don't think anything's. Normal is a setting on the dryer. Okay? There's no such thing as normal. Yeah, Batman the Animated Series. Capital Wasteland. Oh, okay. All right, okay. Sorry, Dazzler Cat. Squirrel. All right. Uh. Okay, so I do like this first paragraph. It needs to be broken down into multiple things. It would be able to expand it out a lot more, and you would be able to provide finer details because a lot of, the talking about the keel boats are for humble traders and can be done by one person. And, oh, come on, Quills, you can keep distracting. It's fine. And thank you for all of the lemon points. I really appreciate it. All right, posture check. Oh, a Worldcon panel. Okay. All right. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Yep. See ya. The Gosling trades in spices, a market where the goods are bought and sold by the ounce. Excuse me. Watertight barrels hold well-sealed jars kept apart by straw are secured by straps. Need some commas, or yeah, that needs to be reworded. A ton of this sort of cargo is worth a small fortune, though it would require many buyers and several days to trade it all for a quick profit. To sell it in lots would be a loss. Okay. Oh, there. Waiting for the posture. Oh, you're waiting for a posture check to break. Yeah. Hey, this is the least finest chair you can buy at Costco. Anyway. So okay, so the Gosling is a specific instance of a keel boat that focuses only on trading of spices sold by the ounce. It's good that you describe how it's shipped. You may want to spread this into its own paragraph as well, and expound upon it, how it is sold. Because when you said a ton of this sort of cargo is worth a small fortune, well, are we talking a ton a lot, or a ton meaning the actual measurement? Because a ton is 2,000 pounds. So are they really carrying 2,000 pounds of spices that are done, or that are sold by the ounce? That's a lot of ounces. Okay. So I'd expound on that. Fox Gaddis, the young captain and owner of the Gosling, is a competent peddler of spice and very wise for his age. Two of his crew could sing and play music. One played the lute and the other the drum. They played in a corner beneath the rainbow-striped tarp, their music drawing in customers and setting a happy mood that improved sales. In another corner, the lone female member of his crew lit their cooking brazier and fried up spicy cakes that drew even more customers to the Gosling. It never took long for any pier they docked at to fill up with people in a festive mood. By the time the dock guards closed the piers for the day, the crew and captain of the Gosling had usually built up enough good spirits with the locals they could drink at any dockside tavern and have most of their drinks for free. Actual measurement. Okay, so so let's talk about TON versus TONE. Okay, both ton and ton are units of weight. Ton is British and American. Ton is a metric measure. So you may want to research a little bit more of that to determine which reference you have, because the English British spelling of ton here was a little confusing because it's in the common vernacular today. Man, I got a ton of homework. No, you don't. You don't have 2,000 pounds of homework. But weight includes that of barrels, jars, and packaging. Okay, that could make sense. 1 ton of cargo and 2 passengers. Okay, so you do reference a ton of cargo up here. That is that's a good callback that I missed the connection to. But see, what I really like about this paragraph here was how much we learn about Fox and the crew members. I was about to say after the first sentence and go, hey, these don't make sense together. However, you brought all of the paragraph together, and it's all about presentation, marketing, and salesmanship. So that whole and you like your paragraph, you have your thesis statement of the paragraph. Fox is a young captain, owner of the Gosling, and he's a competent peddler of spices. Then you spent the rest of the paragraph proving your thesis statement that yes, he is competent and here is why. Very good structure. And it was just the jarring of the two of his crew could sing and play music. Well, what does that have to do with his competence? Because Fox isn't the one playing. Fox isn't the one singing. So why does that sentence have any relativity to Fox? But the rest of the paragraph, it did tie that all together. So I thought that was good. Okay, but you may want to try to ease the transition between the two. That is a very technical, fine polish, but as it is right now, I say that this is a good paragraph. More than a merchant's boat. Since Quills isn't here. All right. I'm sorry if there's a lot of mouth noises on the microphone and stuff like that. Okay. The Gosling, though, is more than an ordinary keelboat. She has magical crystals embedded in her reinforced keel that gives her lift when activated from the helm. The lift is strong enough to get her into the sky and keep her there where she can sail on the winds. The crystals hold enough magic to lift the Gosling up for 72 hours and recharges 1 hour of lift per day, requiring careful husbandry of the magic. This only adds to making the Gosling an even more versatile ship able to cross lands. Great suggestion, Moonflower. Making the headings more noticeable with the H2 tags. I would definitely agree with that. Okay, this is a fun detail. The only question I have is how do they recharge? Is it solar paneled? Learned about those tags today. Great. Is it solar powered? Is it how is it recharged one day? What kind of careful husbandry is required for the crystals? But other than that, that is cool. For troubling incidents, the Gosling can quickly mount a railista on its bow. This railista fires hollow clay rounds filled with alchemist's fire or ichor. Is that kind of like Greek? I am really new to the World Anvil tech. Me too. Alchemist fire or ichor. That's a good use of ore. So you could define it, a term, unfamiliar term, ichor, and alchemist fire. I guess that's like a Greek fire in our world. But yeah, that's a very good explanation. On smooth water, the railista can reach 300 yards, but rarely are conditions perfect. Close-in fighting requires fast attacks and aiming for masts and rival railistas, so the Gosling can make a fast escape. Ichor is god blood in ancient Greece. I don't know. Okay, this sentence, close in fight is close quarters, but then quarters really isn't a ship term. Fast attacks and aiming for the masts, and rival realistas, so the Gosling could make a fast escape. I'm good with the sentence. This sentence, but I'm not really sure. My world calls acid ichor. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, this sentence probably needs to be split into two, and the second part clarified. Trouble they try to escape comes from river thugs, pirates, and the occasional crooked port authority, and the ocean port press gangs looking to catch the unwary to fill the crews of the bigger ocean vessels. Very good. Very good. I might say the trouble they try to escape, and is port authority a proper title of a specific person, or is it just a generic? There's a port authority everywhere. I would unknowing that detail, I would probably just lowercase port authority. More than a captain, the Gosling is currently owned by the grandson of the last official librarian of the Grand Archives. Okay, generic, yeah, I'd lowercase it. This young man uses it to travel to markets for the spice trade, a humble yet worldly trade that gets him into almost any place without drawing much attention. The perfect cover under which he can get up to things. What things? Well, those are secret. Nice tease. Nice tease. Is Captain Fox an NPC that your adventurers can run into or partner with? Yes. Okay. Um, I'm getting a Gilmore Glorious Goods vibe from him. But yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, good job. Okay, so we a major story character. Yeah, as the grandson of the last librarian, he definitely would be. Okay, um, looking. I found this new thing where I can look at all of the lemon check-ins, and I can then mark them complete. This was a new thing I found. So we did Gift of Gabby. We did Dazzle Cat. It's going back to the edit pile. Sounds good. Well, and the nice thing is, for the next 14 days on Twitch, you can come back and re-listen to this section for when if you want to refresh. and eventually I will get this up onto YouTube so you could refer it at any time. YouTube doesn't have that limit, and that's why I put it up there. So if you want to refer to this, mark the time code, I don't know, you'll be able to find this in the future. Already took notes. Wonderful. Okay, now is the time we've all been dreading. I have nothing in the queue. Does anyone have a showcase, or do I need to start doing one of my own articles, which would be terrifying for me? I would, but I still have no lemons. You followed. You followed Dragon Love Water. You're a new follower today. Why don't you throw your link in there? I will do that. Moonflower, you had one. So if Dragon, oh no, Moonflower redeemed that for Dragon Love Water. So Dragon Love Water, there you go. Someone bought it for you. You bet. We love this community. This is awesome. So why don't we, Barbarossa. Hey, Greg of House Writer. Bienvenue. I was just gonna wait, but y'all are so sweet. You bet. Hey, we're here to help. I do want, and I thought people got 300 points for following. Am I wrong? Working on that Gresham Grip article. Oh, cool. All right, Dragon Love Water, we'll pick. So while we're waiting for that article, let me just show you a little bit what I've been doing. Ooh, way too zoomed in. That's not helping. Okay, I've been using Trello, and so I have my WorldAnvil articles, more poetry. You bet. Okay, so like what I have here is I have a Kanban board. I don't know, it sometimes does weird stuff on mobile. It's okay. So what I have here is I've been going through and I've been classifying the work that I need to do. So like one of the articles, Acrona, the City Reborn, what I've done is I've created this Trello card to help me track the process. So when I only have 15 minutes to work on, I can just quickly know what I can work on the top. So, for example, because I dictate all of my articles using Dragon Naturally Speaking, I need to go clean that up. I need to do development edits. I need to integrate article links in there, and then I need to do line edits. And so here, by going through all of this, I am able to then quickly jump into a world, get something done, make a note of it, and be done with it. And that way, especially with people who still have full-time jobs, who only can grab little bits here or there, and I love being able to write down ideas on my phone using the Trello app, where I have a checklist and I can boom write something down. Sable, gotta tell you, you're one of my favorite streamers, but I'm never on because this is the time of day I have to do a bunch of errands. I'm taking off now, but I just wanted to thank you for the great stream as always, carrying me forward on the raid. The stream will keep running. Thank you so much, Sable. I truly appreciate that. I plan on doing a lot more streaming in August, depending on permissions I can get to see what I can do more. So I thank you so much for the kind words. I really want to have this be a fun space where people can just enjoy writing. And if you get a good laugh or two, hey, awesome. Okay, anyone else want anything redeemed? I have nearly 900 lemons. Well, let's get a Dragon Love Water in here. All right, Barbarossa. So I've been considering who should be my religious leader for a while, only to realize I have 2 characters I need to write anyway. Bron the Brash, Old King of Duerna, and St. Meves, Saintess of Farmers. Well, okay, of what I know from St. Meve, your Saintess of Farmers, that from the article that we read earlier, let me liken her. I believe it's, yeah, Saintess. It's a her. I almost consider Saint Meve a Mother Teresa character, an angelic, saintly woman who does a ton of good for those around her. However, I would not call Mother Teresa a religious leader. A great exemplar of the faith, yes. A person who should go through the sanctification, sainthood. Forgive me, I'm not Catholic. The person who should become a saint, like, as soon as religiously possible, yeah, but I'm not Catholic, so I don't get to vote. But I don't know if she is a leader. Now, there could be a disciple of Saint Meve after her passing who took her ideals and made a convent after her. Yeah, but the prompt also mentions how the religion was changed. Okay, very good. Yeah, that is a good point. Because she was a saint and became sanctified, she obviously had a huge influence on somebody, enough to influence the religion to become classified as a saint. So you could do that whole article on the legacy of Saint Meve, as opposed to leader can be a very loose term. That's true. That is true. I was thinking more of the formal clerical something. Saint Meve it is. Wonderful. All right, Dragon Love Water. Oh, wow. How do you pronounce that? Voice... Help. Think Latin. That doesn't help. Você jacit? Você jati? Você jacit? Because I speak French and Spanish, so I'm not sure which accent to put on it. Você jacit? Você jacit? Você jacit? That's a French pronunciation. Yeah, pretty much. Awesome. Let's see if I can keep that same pronunciation through the entire length of the article. Got it. Okay, the Shroud of Vejosi. Shroud of V. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Galactic Nebula. Ooh. I wanted 4 different pronunciations. Voici Jessie. Vocia Jessit. No. I'll stumble through it. You'll get your 4, Barbarossa. During the night look to the sky and sea, suspended behind the moon are glittering waifs of dust, curling like satin, with the stars just peeking through. Okay, sky and sea. Okay, look to the sky and see. I would probably put that a period, make that a new sentence. Suspended behind the moon are glittering waifs of dust, curling like satin, like stars, with the stars just peeking through. Very visual. I love the use of comparing the dust to satin, because really that you really get that imagery there, because we've all, I truly hope everyone has had the opportunity to be somewhere in the middle of the night where there are no cities and no light pollution, and you can just bask in the glory that is the night sky. It can be beautiful. Okay, light pollution is a real thing, and I'm lucky to live in a fairly sparsely populated area of the world. If it's Latin based, it would be pronounced with a W sound instead of V sound. So you can get your 4 different ones. Barbarossa, you described Brannock. Yeah, grew up on a farm. Yeah. When I lived in California, when I moved from California to my local place, I said, well, okay, take the entire population of our state, cram it into one county, and double the population, and that's Orange County, California. Depends on how you learn Latin. Something about Christianization or something. W instead of a V. Oh boy. Okay, let's get into the content. Because if we get into the if it's make fun of Greg's pronunciation inconsistencies, well, we will truly be here all night. Okay, the Shroud of Voici-Jacite is a sprawling cloud of sparkling dust and gases that are the remains of dead Ninsnomen from a war long over. The remains of... Need an article in here. Dead, the dead. It depends what Ninsnomen is. I'm not sure what that is. Is that another planet? Is this a ship graveyard? But is it a dead, meaning one specific one? Is it the dead, meaning plural? I'm not sure. They shimmer in multiple colors: blues, purples, orange. Or any color you can think of will show itself. Sometimes you can catch a glimpse of a color you won't be able to name. Wonderful description, needs to be broken up. I would probably put a colon after colors. They shimmer in multiple colors, blues, purples, oranges, and any color you can think of will show itself, period. It's a species. I haven't created an article yet. I think I brushed on. Okay. Sometimes you can catch a glimpse of color you won't be able to name. Okay, that needs to be its own sentence, because you have a list here, and based on when you have lists that are separated by commas, you need to be consistent in the content of what happens between the commas. Blues, purples, oranges. And then with the last one, you can have more leeway, and any color you can think of will show itself. But then you need to stop. A sentence that contains a list of items that are being described the sentence needs to end with that list. The clouds of dead matter are always shifting and will look different from one hour to the next, but will never advance past the moon. Sometimes you can see chunks of stone and metal floating up in the dust, but they are never seen for long. Wrong there. Wait, I don't know. There are other strange things up there as well. Maybe that's right. There are other strange things up there, that's the right there, as well, but none anyone would be able to identify. Okay. But you said the Nissoman, trust me, I've broken. it down. Run-on sentences are my kryptonite. Oh, same here. They're possessive. So would this need to be the THERE? That starting the sentence, because they're okay, yeah. Okay, Barbarossa, thank you. Let's see, you said a species. It's a species. So I would say the dead Ninsomen. That's got to be a lot of things if they can make a galactic nebula that can be seen. Yeah, there are other strange. Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you, Barbarossa. That's okay, but if that's intentional, that's a lot of carnage. History. Long ago, war was waged between the great pantheons of Avermundi and the legion of squalling creatures created from careless use of power. From maybe a careless use of power, period. They were called the Ninsnomen. They're called the Ninsnomen, for the proud deities would give them no name. Oh, okay. Men with no name. I like that. It 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 is the historical section where they are mentioned. Okay. Young and impassioned, comma, the Ninsnomen were either slain or scattered to the dark places of existence. The bodies of the Ninsnomen shattered and melted, but mostly just deteriorated into dust upon death, leaving massive plumes around the planet. The cloud is called the Shroud of Vosijesi because their voices were cast out into nothing. Okay, voici, je suis. Okay, that helps me understand a little bit more about they're cast into nothing, and the nomen is name and Latin. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Sometimes when staring at the night sky, comma, someone will see something strange, and if they continue to look at it, will come away nauseous with a pain behind their eyes. Interesting. Often this simply passes, and if asked, they won't be able to describe what they saw. Other times they will wake the next day with wide eyes, blinkless, and develop odd habits. Either way, they will dream. Okay, that's creepy and cool. Okay, I would probably need. This is too long of a sentence. One sentence, one idea. Okay, because you're talking about. Well, yeah, these two sentences in this paragraph are both run-ons, but you mentioned that's your kryptonite, so I'll just leave it as that. Okay, the Ninsnomen of the Shroud are dead, and nothing is there. The dust moves in galactic currents. The rubble is pushed by echoes of actions long finished, and nothing is there. The glinting lights can trick the eye and sometimes cause confusion and odd dreams, and nothing is there. The dust in the nebula is always shifting and changing. Perhaps they are dead, but they are not gone. Okay, I really like that last sentence. I would probably bring more emphasis to it by putting it in a call out and using it as a quote of maybe a famous person, because that is a cool statement right there. I think you need to bring that out more because it's creepy and cool. you're using the motif "nothing is there" 3 times in this paragraph, but you use it twice in the first sentence. This is almost getting into poetry because you're saying something and nothing is there. You're saying something and nothing is there. So I would probably, yeah, see, I really like it. But grammatically speaking, I would end each sentence with "nothing is there," period. And then the like the Ninsmomen of the shroud are dead and nothing is there. Okay, the next sentence. The dust moves in galactic currents. The rubble is pushed by echoes of actions long finished, and nothing is there. See, I would probably take the dust. I would probably incorporate this into the first sentence. The dust of the Ninsomen are pushed by galactic currents. No, they're pushed. The Ninsomen, the shroud of the shroud of dead Ninsomen, the dust, the shroud. I don't know how to say it, but I like that you're talking about how the dust is moving, but then just pound it in at the end, and nothing is there. Because here you're saying one thing and then nothing is here. Here you say two things and then nothing is here. And then here you're saying the glinting lights can trick the eye, sometimes cause confusion. And so in the third sentence, you're saying three things and nothing is here. I would try to make it more poetic by making the sentences similar length, similar in content, and a similar grammatical structure so it almost comes out like you're singing a song. Harking back to our poetry discussion from last night. But see, the stanza "and nothing is there" is really cool. I don't know why this is under flora fauna, but the paragraph itself, with some fine grammatical rework, I think would be almost poetic and could be like the back blurb of a book. Just and nothing is there. I mean, that in it of itself could be a title of a story or a book. Anyway, so you have some awesome stuff there that you can start that you could work with, and just force me to say words that I have no idea how to pronunciate. Pronounce. Good heavens. All right. Thank you so much. I don't know what I was thinking. It was taking. I don't. I don't know. I was thinking it was talking how there's totally nothing there. Didn't look at the time. It was also like 1 a.m. If you wrote that at 1 a.m., you should write more at 1 a.m. What did Hemingway say? Write drunk, edit sober. Yes, it is good. It is really good. Yeah. So the comments that I'm talking about are not content in based. It is style, and style is yours. I can make suggestions on style. I cannot, and please don't adopt my style. But then again, I don't even know if I have a style or a voice yet. Um, so yeah, it is. You have some really good stuff here. Okay, but maybe one question: how big are the Ninsnomen? I mean, are we talking uh like a giant whale? Are you talking about a giant, or like are these creatures that could fill up a football stadium? Because if they can, I'm glad. Oh, I'm glad I can help any way I can. Because if these are, when we're talking about when they were created, for proud deities, how big? Because if you need I mean, there's a lot of junk left in the orbit of the Earth due to satellites and all that stuff, and we can't see it from Earth. To be able to see, and that's low orbit junk, that you would have to have a lot of material, organic dust or otherwise, to be able to have the beautiful shrouds that you're describing. So I would like to know, how big are these things? But yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Depends. It technically a species, but the first ones were literally cast off energy, life force, dreams, Ooh, that's cool. That needs to be in the article. So they get really, really big. Yeah. The cast off energy and life force of gods. Yes, that could definitely make a shroud that could be seen from Earth, on Earth in low orbit or higher orbit, for that matter. Yeah. So they get really, really big. But see, what you talked about there, the cast off energy, life force, that stuff gives credibility and context to know that, hey, you thought they have their own article, mortals to affect them. Oh, okay, they will have their own article. Fine. Yeah, you did mention that you were going to link them. Awesome. Thanks, Moonflower. Okay. Anyone else have a article that they'd like to have showcased? Or two people's, and we can work on both. Oh, good. I'm glad that you liked it. Okay, Dazzlecat is hand typing a link. Moonflower is donating the lemons if needed, so anyone can speak up. Wonderful. Let's see. Wow, that user list in the chat. There's a lot of people here. Thank you for everybody for coming and for lurking, for enjoying the stream. One of the crazy things I received an article, an email from Twitch, and it said that you have to have an average of 75 people watching to become a partner, which is the level after affiliate, and that's like, dang. So I really appreciate everyone who's here. Barbarossa, one must create a world they wish to live in. It does not come naturally. An excerpt from the Litany of Silba. One must create the world they wish to live in. It does not come naturally. Yeah. Oh, I could go all philosophical on my beliefs in the nature of man, but yeah. Well, I'm not going to get anything else done if I keep chatting. So I'm a mosey, but I had fun, and we'll be back. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for the follow. Feel free to come back. I have a lot of plans for what I want to do in the coming month. I want to do a whole streaming show. All right. See you, Barbarossa. Yeah, feel free to come and go and as needed. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas that I want to work on in the coming, and hopefully we will be able to have fun with that. All right, Daz the Cat, The End of Instant. This sounds familiar. Okay, I haven't read this one before. Okay. All right, let's see here. The gateway is instant. The end of instant. 3 years ago, the realms of the world were all connected by the gateway, which provided instantaneous travel from one gate to another placed anywhere on the world. Okay. Oh, I just got comfy too. Oh, you don't need to watch my double chin, that's for sure. Well, thank you so much, Barbarossa. I like to thank Toastmasters that I attended for 4 years for my gift of being able to talk about it. And I hope to be able to share my writings as much as you have been able to share your writings with me. This has been an inspiring month. That is for sure. Thank you so much. All right. 3 years ago, the realms of the world were all connected by the gateway, which provided instantaneous travel from one gate to another, placed anywhere in the world. I would probably put a period after gateway and just change which to they. That way, you're talking about the realms of the world were connected. That's an idea. And then the separate idea is that they provided instantaneous travel. So you have having one idea per sentence instead of having the two in this kind of a run-on. That would the pace of trade through the galaxy, the pace of trade through the gateway could not be matched by any other means of transport, save for those things too massive to fit through a gate. The High Guild of Magic controlled the gateway, and it was only by gaining their favor that the gateway could be used. Those who did not use the gateway grew poorer and poorer compared to those who did, and rulers were quick to realize they needed the gateway. Yeah, run on Centus. Yeah. Yeah. I'm almost scared to start reading because you guys are going to see that my initial drafts don't follow any of the rules I recommend because I have to go back in like 4 or 5 different drafts to get all of the rules in there that I recommend. In fact, let me show. Let me just Dazzle Cat. Let me just pause for a second and show you something. Let's see. Okay, good. It showed up there. I have this. Let me. Okay, I use Evernote, and can you see that? All right. So this is what I do before I write a story. These are the 8 steps I follow when I analyze a fairy tale that I want to tell. Then I go through, I create the characters, I brainstorm the story, then I integrate how it gets into the world. I talk about my primary characters, background characters, the groups, and then each one gets an article in WorldAnvil. I talk about the story. Will it be a story about wonder, idea, adventure, horror, mystery, thriller, humor, relationship, drama, issue, or ensemble? That's from the Writing Excuses podcast when they talk about the writing elements. Then I talk about my plot points, my locations, my plotting of scenes and sequels. And I talk about, I answer all 13 of these questions for every single scene in my short story or novel. And then I start to write. Welcome, welcome. Wow, this is like the third raid tonight. Welcome, everybody. Quillian, thank you so much for coming tonight. Okay, so that whole thing is before I even start. Stormbrill, welcome. Lorraine, welcome, welcome. Okay, so then I start drafting, and then here's my development round. This is a raidathon. I don't think I've ever had 3 raids in the same stream. This is awesome. So this is my development round of edits. Then I get into my line edits here. Then I go through another edit for deeper POV. Then I go through characters and descriptions. Then I go through a whole passive voice string draft. Then I go through my filter words, and this is every word that I try to replace in my stories so that I don't have them there, because this was recommended in an article, and I find that by getting rid of the passive voice, getting rid of these words helps strengthen my choice of words, gets it more visceral, gets it more exciting, and gets it more descriptive if I get rid of these 19 words. And then I have 13 more categories of words that I get rid of. And then here's 16 more words that I try to use very sparingly. And then I have another try to get rid of repetitive descriptions. And then I do my line edits where I make sure that my punctuation is correct. So this is an insight into what it takes for me to get a story ready before I even get it out for critiques. So just to let you know, this is a little bit of what it takes, and it took me a long time to get this. Hey, WD Michael, yeah. Yeah, it does pay to know grammar, but not so much just grammar, but also why the grammar rule is there, so that if you break it with intention for maximum impact. Because every sentence does not need to be a complete, full, grammatically correct sentence, because sometimes you just need a broken sentence because it's good and will punch the reader in the gut, metaphorically. Okay, so one thing that I want to do after WorldAnvil in preparation is to do a streaming series where I take an idea from start to finish through that huge list that I just showed you, so that you can follow along as I create a story and fit it into Sagadorm, and then from brainstorm to manuscript in WorldAnvil. So that's some of the things that I hope to be able to do in the future. And hopefully there will be something that you'd like to watch, because I want to do it anyway. So hopefully you'll like to watch it. All right, enough of that. So thank you, Deslicat, for that 10 millionth diversion of the night. Dialogue. Yeah, yeah. Dialogue is hard. In one of my stories, I had to rework. It was between the frog and Henrik. It took a lot of time to rework that dialogue. It was a lot, but it was worth it, because that story, probably 8 or 9 drafts, and 3 or 4 critiques, and one was done by a professional editor, and that story won second place in the state of Utah League of Writers new authors creative fiction category. You don't always have to celebrate second place, but for me that was a huge deal. It was the first contest I ever placed in, and I love that story. And if you want to read it, it's for free on WorldAnvil. So, okay, all right. So back to Dazzlecat. Thank you for your indulgence in going here. So let's finish this article, and then we can raid W.D. Michael at the top of the hour, I believe. Okay. So for 5,000 years, all right, so this last sentence here, those who did not use the gateway grew poorer and poorer. Moonflower, good night. Have a good one. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. And thank you also for donating lemons for the new followers who may not have had some. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, those who did not use the gateway grew poorer and poorer compared to those who did. Period. I would put a period there. And rulers were quick to realize they needed the gateway. Because again, you have two ideas here. One about the people getting poorer and poorer, and then the rulers realizing the importance of it. For 5,000 years, the High Guild of Magic prevented great wars by turning conflicts into a battle of words before its council instead of one of blood on the fields. Okay, I like that idea. Into battle of words before its council instead of not sure how, but that needs to be tightened. Again, I'm coming from a short story POV. Short story. I am not an epic fantasy writer. Some people can sneeze and 10,000 words plop on the paper. I am not that person. And that's why my stories are so short, because I agonize over every sentence like this. Skirmishes between neighbors still happen, but never spread beyond small, localized battles, as allies could arrive quickly. With the control of the gateway, the High Guild of Magic became the wealthiest and most powerful organization in the world. Okay, I would probably move this sentence to the previous paragraph, because here you're talking this whole paragraph which talks about war, but here this sentence does not support the main concept being discussed in this entire paragraph. It's talking about the wealth of the High Guild of Magic, where it does fit in here, because you're talking about how people are going poorer and rulers realize they need it, and then because of that need, they became wealthy. So by the content is good, but by grouping it a little differently, I think it would smooth and flow more effectively. All right, when the instant ended. Okay. All of this ended 3 years ago when the gateway suddenly vanished. People of all races were suddenly stranded in foreign lands. I would not use a second suddenly. Inconveniently, maybe, because adverbs are best used when you don't when they subvert the verb that is being modified. Things suddenly vanish. Well, any vanishing is sudden. So is there a better adverb that doesn't repeat itself with the verb vanish? Because if you vanish, of course it was a sudden thing. That's why we use the word vanished. But slowly vanished makes no sense, but it's a good adverb to use because it really changes the verb that is being modified. But I would use the same adverb into consecutive sentences. With a world little used to physical travel beyond the borders of the respective borders, I would maybe respective realms, not alliteration is vowels. What's the repetition of consonants? Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't. That's one of the checks that I do in that laundry list, is to see how many times I use the same word in a sentence. Yeah, I'm just a new set of eyes. I'm coming to this fresh, and that's why I can see some things. I cannot often find these same things in my own writing because my eyes are not fresh. Changing fonts, changing sizes like this helps get things to be seen by new eyes. Okay. There was a lot is 2 words, of panic and desperation. Okay, I do like the use of panic and desperation because those are 2 completely different things. The panic grew into rage at the conductors, the High Guild Magi, who made sure only those in good standing with the High Guild used the gateway. The conductors were arrogant and often charged a toll that went into their own pockets. Despite the fact that destroying the gateway made no sense for the conductors to, the ill will their greed had built up made them the natural target for all that unreasoning anger. Okay, great content to do. Yeah, okay, yeah, to do, yeah. But this provides excellent insight into the nature of the conductors. Because you get a better understanding of why people are mad, why they're redirecting their anger. I really like that. Those conductors who managed to flee or go into hiding survived. The others were killed, often horribly. Yeah. The others were killed. Often horribly. This sentence is good. And straight to the point and factual. If this were a prose, if this was a story, you could really rework that and make it a horror sentence if you wanted to. But for the purpose of an article, it's good, it's clean, it's straightforward. But just getting into that writing sense of just, they died horribly. Tom, no! Tom, no! Tom, no. I love the emoji, but there must be meaning for that. Okay. For some, the distant home was too great a challenge or cost, so they were forced to settle, in the lands they found themselves. Really good. I wanted to. Others were not welcome to stay. So despite the hardship and the cost, were forced. So despite the despite, oh no, they killed Kenny. Despite the hardship and the cost, were forced to try to return home. Many died or settled in different lands that accepted these foreigners. Without the power of the gateways, the High Guild of Magic lost its influence. Realms began to muster their armies, most in defense, but a few for invasion, as some realms who had wielded great power before the councils suddenly had far less power and were determined to regain their power by blood. Okay. South Park. I've been getting a lot of South Park ads because of the new HBO Max thing that's coming out. So that was funny. Okay. This second sentence. Others were not welcome to stay. And so I'd get rid of just the word so, uh, despite the hardship and the costs, and then I'd probably put a period. They were forced. Refugees were forced to try to return home, because you do use the word refugees later, because it would oh, these foreigners. Okay, but you could. I think this would be an appropriate usage of the word refugee. Lost, yeah, and High Guild lost its influence. Yeah, realms. Yeah, suddenly. Okay, this last sentence, I would probably put this in its own paragraph, because this, you're talking about peoples and refugees and foreigners and how they were impacted. This right here is talking about the impact of the political nations. So how we were affected as individuals, how the world was affected by armies. By, I think separating those two things would be more impactful. Now the world is a place of chaotic lands, battles for precious resources, and the rise of new powers. Wow, Lorraine, did you put sunglasses on that guy? Oh, cool. Oh, that's fun. How do you do that? Okay, I did have this question. Maybe. Okay. I did have a question about this. You say it's a battle for precious resources. Um, did the resources disappear, or is this an issue of the unavailability of being able to transport said resources? Because uh, in the instant that the gates shut, was anyone caught in the middle? You know, like controlling the resources. Okay, so everybody decided to hoard toilet paper. Uh, the Yeah, because the resources didn't go away, but I'm assuming the resources didn't go away, but it was the ability to transport the resources effectively. Sort of, yeah. Okay. See, I have no idea. Why on earth would people hoard toilet paper? I mean, heavens. Okay, that see a lot of, and that's about as political as I want to get. All right, this was really cool, and it did add a lot of good insight into your instant. I Okay, when the instant ended and the aftermath, very good information. I would love to know. Well, if this is something you want to get into, your choice completely. But was there anybody stranded at the hub who could not get out of the gateway? And what happened to them? You may I We may have talked about this already. I don't remember, and I do apologize for that. But that would be interesting if anybody got stuck in the library or the vaults and couldn't get out, and what happened to those people. Because you have a lot of people. I mean, um, not to get too weird, but when 9/11 happened, and my sister was in Europe and could not get a plane ride home. And it took a long time for her on vacation. No, they were teleported out random gates. Okay, good. You have addressed that. So all of a sudden, they got placed somewhere random. Okay, that's good to know that you thought of that. Thank you. But yeah, my sister took her a long time before she get home, and there are still people now who haven't been able to repatriate to their home countries because of the shutdown of airlines. You know, that's a thing too. Okay, and so I think we have some very real world examples here in due to the year 2020, that you could look into and receive inspiration for your world based on real examples of people who got stranded and what happened to them. You could really mine that kind of information to make your story a lot more believable. And no, not believable, relatable. Relatable, because then your playing characters would really have a richer world if they run into an NPC and they had a story that was similar to something that they knew someone like that. So, okay. Fun. All right. That's a pretty picture. Pretty sunset. Sorry, squirrel. Okay. Let us posture check. It is after. We've been going for 2 hours here. Thank you so much. Let's look at some. Let's try to find someone that I think we can raid. Let's look at this Anvilite Streamer Core calendar. I'm 99% that WD Michael is up, but we need to just check that. Twitch. He's up? Oh, Lorraine, thank you very much for letting me know that. Okay, so thank you. Don't put your camera on top of a laptop lid. Okay, thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you so much for going through and providing your showcases. I know how strange it is to let your precious little babies, your articles, to have someone like me rip it apart. And that takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength to be able to share your work with others in such a public format. Thank you so much for trusting me to be able to provide these critiques and be able to help in whatever way I can. Just to let you know, please remember that later, depending on your time zone, either tomorrow or later today, is going to be the WorldAnvil official stream and the release of the final 3 diamond prompts for WorldAnvil Summer Camp 2020. Because of that, tomorrow night, my stream, 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, will focus on word sprints to get those things done. And also, I will be participating in Zog Mad Dog's 24-hour stream as we will work. We will be co-hosting, or I will be a guest on his stream, and be able to do that. And so, please check the Anvilite Streamer Core calendar, where you can see the most recent times, and please like this channel, and I will put a host. Well, I think I automatically host Zog Mad Dog anyway. But yeah, so please thank you so much, and I look forward to finishing the different streams and different prompts, and looking forward to an awesome August and October as we get ready for NaNoWrimo, and hopefully you'll join me along the way, because it's going to be a lot of fun, because I'm having a ball. Best part of my day. Seriously, this community is the best part of my day. So thank you so much for everything that you've been able to share, support, and all that. So with that, let me bump my microphone. And of course, they don't have his name up there. And there we go. And I will start the raid. So it does the countdown. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. Have a great night, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
tonight. How are we all doing, Raiders? Hope you're having a good night. We are having a great night. Hope you're getting everything done. Hope that your summer camp was successful, because we are getting close to being done with. Tomorrow we get the new prompts, right? Tomorrow we get new prompts. It's gonna be exciting. Woo! Aloha! How you doing, Kahuna? We've got Dazzlecat.